Welcome. This is our first episode of a campaign that we're going to run. Should last for 5 episodes. 6 if things go a little pear-shaped. We'll see. Into the Wastes of Cyre. I'm Dungeon Master GM Ryq Wraith, and these shall be the players that will take you on this journey. Our journey's set in Eberron, a world of high magic, quite considerable as well, technology that proliferates all the world, with a lightning rail train that connects most of the civilized parts. Warforged, living computer men that walk as robots among the populace now somewhat don't raise as much of an eyebrow as they used to. Eberron was racked by a war that brought all of the 5 great nations together in a conflict that only ceased some 4 years ago, where our story takes place. The reason why that abrupt end to what was quite a long conflict was that Cyre, for some reason, inhabited and displayed such ravenous magics that everyone either died, burnt up, dissipated. No one was left alive, and these towering plumes of deathly magical fog encircled the land, making entry into it and out presumably impossible. Everyone looking at this massive tragedy and thinking, oh, this could be our nation next, put down their weapons, kind of taking, let's just take a hot second here. Oof. And so all of the eyes of the world look to Cyre to find out what happened, to know something more. I mean, this conflict is uneasy, and at any moment it could kick off again. Now, for these 4 years, entry into Cyre has been almost not heard of, apart from a tiny small hobgoblin outpost called Gorgonhorn had amassed quite a large number to try and enter into this deathly fog, to try and get into Cyre, which was the height of technological peak and magic of the time, with such wonders and treasure that could be retrieved and brought back if you could get through. Gorgonhorn is very close to this border, and they managed to get some people through sheer force of numbers. And what they found, well, made them want to come back quite quickly. And the stories and the rumours that now Cyre is a wasteland with giant roving machines and mutated beasts that rove the land, as well as tales of spectral entities or of whole ghostly armies that still now just march, not knowing that their time had come, still completely unaware of their death. Sir Alistair Belmont, you sit in a carriage It's rocking back and forth, being pulled by two horses at a gallop, but not at breakneck speed. In this carriage there's 3 other people. There are 2 goblins. They look like they're a couple, very well dressed. One wearing what looks like a fairly officious tall hat, kind of like a waistcoat, and his wife is wearing a nice dress, green with frills. And the person to the right is a mean-looking human with ravaged face and pockmarks, black clothes, and a full, unkempt beard, lank hair staring out of the window. You are travelling through Dargun. Your guild was sent a request by a mysterious benefactor, saying that they had found a way to get into Cyre, and they would like someone representative of the guild of the 2 Hammers to come, be part of a crew that would go into Cyre to retrieve something. The reward was a very large sum of gold, some 35,000, plus some kind of favour that you're not quite sure was arranged. And so thus the guild pushed you onto a lightning rail to travel halfway across the globe to come to the borders of Dargun. You were given something that was called a goon pass, a tablet that you showed at the gates and the entrance to this nation of goblins, orcs, hobgoblins. A wild place, you assumed. But upon getting in and spending the last 5 days on the road, this carriage not stopping once, only to change horses every so often, and then straight on, what you saw was plains interspersed with mountains that would suddenly jut out, some like 500-600 feet high. And at one point you go past a statue of a noble-looking goblin in full armour regalia, sword and shield at its side, and this statue standing that entire 400-500 feet. The goblins that you've encountered, or have got off the carriage or got on, have seemed very civilized. And this whole place has turned your preconception of what it was going to be like completely on its side. And now you're wondering what all the stories were as you were growing up. Why so much degradation on this old race? You've been told to go to this town, Gorgonhorn, and head to the Two Tusks Tavern. Take up lodging, and then the next day you are on course for making your deadline. You will be approached, and either a representative or the benefactor themselves will make themselves known, and the plan will be outlined. As you approach Gorgonhorn, what strikes you as different is that it seems quite industrialized. New industry, though. Almost like pipes and gears and cogs have all been ablative constructs on the side of much older buildings. Whatever they brought back from Cyre, Gorgonhorn has made great use of it. Very, very quickly. and whatever goblin technicians and engineers and mechanics they have picked that to piece, put it to work. Some tall spires kicking out a flame on the top of the pipeline, and some dark smoke drifting into the sky from a spattering of these tall towers. And as you get into Gorgonhorn, there's much less hobgoblins here than you thought. You go past a troop, though, of 9 hobgoblins, tall brutes, red skin, ears flat to their side, some 7 foot tall, 4 foot across, and almost half plate, marching with one small goblin at the back in a military uniform standing straight, leading them all. It's not exactly what you thought. The carriage pulls up to a carriage house. 2 orcs come out, lumber. You hear the familiar sound of the horses being unhitched and changed. And the carriageman, a bugbear, kind of leans over with his toothy grin, and his head comes into the window of the carriage. "You'll stop, I believe."
Oh, yes, thank you. Do you... I wouldn't, by any chance, you wouldn't know where the Two Tusks Tavern is, do you?
He shakes his head and then he disappears. One of the goblins, the goblin maid in the nice frilly dress, kind of leans over and goes, "I know where it is."
You do?
I do, yes.
Which way do I need to head?
Just go straight down the thoroughfare and it's right at the end.
Is there a sign outside? Is there something that would stick out from any other building?
She turns and looks at presumably her husband and shakes her head and goes, "Yeah, it'll have 2 tusks outside of it."
Ah, I see. It would be that would be my mistake. Thank you for your help. And I just get out of the carriage, kind of to try to avoid embarrassment.
Your backpack is slung from the top and hits the floor in front of you, and dust kind of goes up. And you look up and there's the bugbear and go, "Alright." And by then, like in that brief space of time, the horses have been changed, these orcs have latched back on, and this bugbear sits back in his chair, and whoosh, and the carriage takes off. And you're left on this dirt road, looking left and right. You're on a street, the carriage behind you.
I pick up my backpack, brush off any dirt that I can, throw it over my shoulder. Right, onwards towards the 2 tusks, I believe. And I'm going to make my way down the thoroughfare where my direction was given. But I'm kind of I'm not like investigating, but I'm kind of just having a look, trying to take in what I can from the area, the smells, the people, what the population's like as I'm making my way towards the tavern.
Smells very husbandry. It's very animal. Like there's almost like a smell of wet fur in the air. And the dirt road, well, as you walk down along it, you see all sorts of people, even some humans that you were kind of surprised, looking fairly unkempt and sitting by the side of the wayside, but not so many goblins on the street. But there are some orcs, hobgoblins, bugbears. You don't see any elves. A gnome passes you by, As
Well,
you go past all of the houses, the Two Tusks Tavern looms up in front of you. A kind of very high-peaked place with a very four-fronted overhang to a door that is open, and there are two giant tusks that interlock in front of it, and a sign. And inside, it's not lively, but you can tell it's definitely a tavern.
I don't really even take much note of who's there. I walk straight up to the barkeep, and I kind of pat my hand on the side and go, "Barkeep, can I get a help, please?"
So, Alistair, as you walk in the tavern, Vergesh, you have arrived at the Two Tusks about 5 days ago. You're a bit early on your journey. You've taken up lodgings here as an instructed and waited for the appropriate date, which is tomorrow. You are sat in the tavern, currently waiting. Would you... And also, Ellerid, you too, you arrived yesterday and are currently sat in this tavern. Would everyone like to describe their characters so that as Alistair comes in, everyone knows kind of what they're looking at, and also kind of where you'd be sitting, kind of how you're sitting, what your body language is. Yeah.
Ladies first.
You're muted.
So I would be sitting at the corner of the bar, at the bar on a stool, up against the wall with my back to the bar, talking with the bar staff if they wanted to, looking reasonably regular and friendly, and my appearance would be like this, pretty much. The rest of my clothes would be all kind of black leather, and if you were looking for it, you could see that I'd have weapons on me and a few too many pouches, but they're all very very well kept, and obviously everything's made to purpose.
Yeah, Vergesh is sitting off into the back in a corner. He's got several empty mugs in front of him, and he's currently working on what looks like maybe his fourth. But he's got a tome in one hand and in a brew in the other, and his eyes are fixed on the brew, and he's just a very colorful looking fellow. Pockets and patches and vests and vestiges, and maybe a couple of plumes of feathers sticking out from random spaces in his cloak. And as a dragonborn, he's large by nature. 6 foot, over 6.5 feet tall, 225 pounds. But he's a small on the dragonborn scale. So to him, he imagines he's unassuming in his size and in his presence, but everybody immediately recognizes him, and it doesn't help the fact that he looks like he's wearing a patchwork of rainbow colors to make up his outfit. That combined with his purplish, kind of faded but purple iridescent scales, definitely make him one that is not one to be lost in the crowd.
You two would both see, as you're sitting in the bar, a human knight walk in, full armor, looks like he doesn't really take it off much, and stands out because his armor is shining gold and green for a half plate over his shoulders, carrying a giant shield with him. Doesn't seem to have any weapons on him, but you assume it's in his backpack or stored somewhere on his person. About 6'1", kind of nothing really distinguished, just short brown hair, very plain human, but just seems to be donning a very shiny armor and expensive armor as he kind of just walks. Kind of doesn't look around the room. You kind of notice him, but he just walks straight past everybody and just goes straight to the barkeep like he's a man on a mission.
The sound of his loud clanking armor distracts me from my reading. I kind of look up in a little bit of annoyance, kind of to be, just sounding like pots and pans just walked in the door, but he doesn't pay attention to me. I don't, I give him just a brief glance and immediately turn back to my tome, keep drinking.
So, Alistair, you walk up to the bar.
Can I get service here? Who do I speak to?
From underneath the bar pops up a goblin, kind of like quite rough, quite large ears, smile on his face. Hello. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Sir Alistair Belmont. I've been sent here to the Two Tusks Tavern. Here's my goon pass, and I need lodging here. I'm here to meet someone or be here or something, but I need lodging. That's what I need right now. I need somewhere to drop my stuff.
Throws a towel over his shoulder. Sure. Hi, looks up and down your armor and goes, so it's 2 gold a night. But it is the finest room that we have. So come this way.
I'll be the judge of whether it's the finest room, but yes, I'll have a look.
Kind of walks out from behind the bar, grabbing kind of a set of keys from a hook underneath, and motions you to follow into what is another tusked archway into another room. And you realise that this tavern's quite big. It's got maybe like 4 or 5 fairly large sitting spaces, each room with maybe like 15-20 tables. It's huge, till finally you get to some back sets of stairs, and there's a door. It's locked. Unlocks it, up some stairs, and there is a whole hotel above with what looks like maybe 15 staterooms. And as you kind of go past, a rat scurries across one of the floorboards, squeaking, until finally you get to the end room, opens it up, and it's a fairly large room. It's got like a 4-poster bed, but it's kind of fairly makeshift. You can see it's wood and their hammers and nails kind of in with kind of leather drapings rather than kind of like silk nettings. But there's a table, there's like a picture, there's even a wardrobe.
And you say this is your finest room. This is the one.
Even got straw on the bed. Yes.
Well, I don't plan on staying here very long, and I can't go anywhere else. I'm supposed to be here, so I'll take the. Does lodging come with breakfast?
It does. For that price, it does. Yes.
Okay then. Okay. Well, if there's breakfast and this is the best you've got, I'll happily take it. I assume I'm the only one in this room. I'm not sharing it with anyone. I get a key for myself.
He holds out his hand, palm up, and also holds out the keys.
I put 2 gold, swipe the keys really quickly. Got them. Thank you. Also, does it get lively in here? I mean, I saw a few people, but I don't really see how many. Is it busy in the evenings?
It does indeed. You wait for the music. You wait for the dancing. Oh, it's always good.
Good. I think I'll go find myself a seat while they're empty, and stay in for the night. And I just go into the room, drop my stuff down, and then about 10 minutes later, I'll make my way down back to the tavern.
Okay. Now, for the sake of brevity, this evening is going to go by quite quickly, but this is a chance for you to maybe try and accomplish something in town before your meeting tomorrow, where presumably you're not quite sure what's going to happen. Would any of you like to have any plans?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to, I just want to meander, before the music starts, or as I notice the space is starting to get filled up and people are setting up instruments, I'm kind of be like, all right, this is my chance to take my leave, and I get up and I start heading outside. I'm assuming I've secured a room since I've been here for 5 days.
You do.
Okay, and so I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna just find the apothecary or herbalist or the closest establishment that I have found that maybe has any kind of alchemical supplies, or maybe I just wander about the town, just kind of keeping busy. But I just never pull my head out of this book that I'm carrying around with me. Everywhere I'm going, I'm constantly looking in this book. I'm almost bumping into people. I'm flipping through pages, and again, colorful, loud, big and bright, just walking through town, but in his own world.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there.
It's fine. Are you looking around for stores?
Well, as a matter of fact, I am.
I'm looking for some supplies myself for a trip. If you know where anything is, would you mind me accompanying you?
I'm a little, I guess, not shy, but confused as to why somebody would want to accompany me. But I kind of give her a look, and...
You're welcome to just point them out to me if you want.
Also, as a note, the only elf that you've seen, really, in all of the kind of 2 or 3 weeks that you've been in Dargun.
I have not seen many of your kind in these parts. What brings you this far out?
Oh, I work. Always traveling for work. You know how it is.
No, I do indeed. I am here on business myself. As a matter of fact, I'm awaiting word from my patron, who should be arriving in 2 days' time.
Ah, wonderful. That sounds interesting.
I suppose in the meantime, I could use some unusual company. Please, let us make our way to the apothecary.
I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you.
Both of you make an investigation check, or one of you with an advantage.
I got +6 on investigation. You want me to roll for it?
You go.
Oh, a 14.
14's good. Yeah, you find an apothecary, and it is called a Tusk and Musk. And yeah, it's very obviously an apothecary. It's got the traditional, almost continent-wide symbol outside. It's been adopted for probably 200-300 years, as apothecaries are always well sought after. So, and this one looks like it's quite big. As you kind of go in, 2 people are leaving, and there's also maybe, say, 5 other people there, kind of like milling about, looking at bottles that are on shelves, colourful bits. There's like herbs, there's a lot of like bowls with weird spices and scoops and bags that you could take, and right at the back of the counter there is a gnome that is obviously stood up on some kind of ledge, looking around in a quite not like a workshop apron because it's too clean, but looking a little bit bored as all of the people come up kind of like head lolls to the side, kind of takes the money, hands them something, puts the money down. Next one, like, hands them something, and yeah.
I'm just gonna just immediately walk to one of the walls with the most colorful assortment of things, and I'm gonna smell and observe and reference my book, and then shake a vial and reference my book and shake a vial. I'm gonna do that for probably a good solid 10 minutes with the same vial.
And while Vergesh is doing this, Ellerid, what would you like to do?
I would like to check my kits and see if there's anything I need to top up on before I go. I'm presuming they're pretty full, but is there anything I notice?
So, yeah. You can. There's just a couple of tiny little pieces. You're probably looking for no more than a gold's worth of bits to top them up.
Okay. Wonderful. And then I would be looking for interesting vials of things and scrolls and things. Is this the right store for that?
So, it looks like it might be a fairly good shop for potions. Maybe they'll have some scrolls. The stuff that's on the shelves out here, as you're kind of like going through, they're much more tincture based for all a variety of different things, and they've got this is this for this, this is this for this, Toadbane for foot warts, that sort of stuff, but all very, very specific, but like hundreds of jars, all kind of like collecting a layer of dust. You would gather that sort of stuff might be behind the counter.
Okay, so I'll walk up to the gnome.
So there's 3 people in front of you, and quite quickly the queue goes down, and yes, you notice that this this vendor is very languid, looking like they don't want to be here, and as they look up they go, "Hello."
Hello, I'm in town and I'm about to leave again. I'm
Oh,
hoping to pass through many more times in the future. This is just the first visit. There's so many towns on my travels. I'm always looking for somewhere good to return to. I travel for work, you see, so this is your first time meeting me, but I'm sure it won't be the last.
Build that rapport, girl. Build that rapport.
My name's Ellerid.
the teller, well, the vendor kind of like visibly strains at this length of conversation.
I would notice that and say, I need things to keep me alive and to kill things. What do you have and how much does it cost?
With that, there's a kind of like snap of their eyes and a kind of like a sparkle, and the languidness kind of disappeared completely. He goes, "Ah, okay. You want the good stuff." Right. Kind of like
Vergesh kind of he hears this to kill things and to keep myself alive, and he kind of maybe gives the elf a curious glance out of the corner of his eye.
And with the 3 or 4 people that's behind you, these people let out a sigh like, "Oh," as the bank teller kind of like gets down, and then
with a check.
Like kind of like from underneath, there's a kind of like a mechanical lever where up and on, like one box and one rack full of kind of like potions, another rack, and then he gets out like a box and is kind of like rifling through and goes, "Okay, so what exactly do you want to do? How do you want to kill things?"
Oh, you're a fan of killing things too, I see.
I am.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, well, I use a crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm handy with herbs, potions and such. I really like poisoning things to death.
Don't we all? Don't we? Yes. Right. Okay. No. Okay. How much you want to spend?
How much you got?
I got a lot of things, a lot of prices. How much you got to spend? Tell me that, and I should be able to make you a good selection out of these things.
You see, I know how this works. And you tell me the medium thing you've got and we'll work from there. This ain't my first store. I tell you how much I got, you take all I got.
Okay.
Nothing against you.
She pulls
it'll just work.
like a small purple vial. Puts it on the table in front of you. Wyvern's Fang. Now, this'll be good for 3 or 4 uses. It'll drop most things, put them in a paralyzed state, but the poison gets into their bloodstream, and then black streaks all over until it gets into the heart, and the heart usually explodes. But 500 gold.
3 or 4 uses.
Hmm?
And what do you have for healing?
So at the moment we've got about 7 healing potions. And I think a greater healing potion might be somewhere in the back as well. I'd have to check.
Okay. Anything else to kill things? Do you have any magic scrolls? Nothing too hefty. Just something simple. In case I run out of steam.
No, all of our scrolls are healing and stuff.
At the sound of scrolls, or at the word scrolls being tossed around, I kind of edge my way a little bit closer. I'm scooting in. I'm peeking over. I'm seeing what they might be looking at. Seeing I'm interested in some scrolls. But I'm trying to be discreet. Obviously, I'm not. I'm trying to be, but I fail miserably.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Now, as you're in the shop and you're kind of looking through wares and discussing things, Alistair, you're at the bar. So just before I get to you, Ellerid and Vergesh, get a little idea of maybe what you want to buy. This shop is fairly kind of like well stocked. Just kind of get some things in mind, and then when we come back to you, we'll make a roll, see if you get what the things that you want. Okay? So
just like from our thoughts as opposed to from...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Alistair, you're by the bar. Starts filling up. What you notice is that this large kind of almost amphitheatre area with like red curtains and a stage begins to fill up with what looks like maybe 20 large skin drums brought in by hobgoblins, some orcs and goblins, and they're all set up and much more larger instruments. And as it gets a little bit later in the evening, this place is packed, absolutely stocked. There's maybe 400-500 people in here now, and the music starts playing and those drums reverberate. That bass is going through you and it's lively, it's kind of jaunty, and for the amount of like people here and for the people that you thought it would be, this place is not. There's no kind of like. There's no like anger. There's just kind of like this real amazing vibe that's just kind of going through everyone, and everyone is getting drunk and having a very good time, and they are also very accepting of you.
Barkeep, can I get a cask, please, of an ale for me and my new friends here that I can't remember. What's your name?
A cask is rolled, and over the course of the evening, you begin to make friends and ingratiate yourself. Take off 15 gold. There's a lot of drinking, and you get through quite a few of those casks. You make some friends very, very quickly.
Great. This is a really cool place. I like you guys. You guys are fun. This is really good. Does anyone know any games? Do you get what games do you play here?
With that, you embroil quite a lot of the rest of your evening, playing like a kind of variety of kind of like axe throwing at the back at a target, and there's there's also darts. Darts is kind of like a big one, but it's knife throwing really. So it's kind of a variation, I guess, on the axe throwing. And to be honest, there's just like the tables are filled with kind of like groups of friends, and yeah, you end up spending the rest of the evening playing and making friends. So Ellerid and Vergesh, you have some items that you were kind of thinking of adding to your inventory on this precursor to the expedition.
Would you like to go first, sir?
Oh, well, yes, that is much appreciated. You see, I am looking for a specific item. Perhaps, maybe you'd be familiar with it. I'm looking for a set of feathers from a phoenix. Have you such an item?
I take it you're talking to the barkeep, not Ellerid, because that would be ridiculous.
Oh no, sorry, not Ellerid. The shopkeep.
Yeah, the shopkeep kind of strokes the side of her face and goes, No, not a phoenix feather, I'm afraid.
Well then, I need your highest quality quill or feather from the rarest of birds.
Yes, we have a plumed parrot feather that only comes from apparently one pirate island somewhere in the northern reaches. Parrot's Bluff or something. Okay, yeah, let me get that. And brings in this fairly large, like 2 foot long parrot feather that is multicolored all the way throughout, and it is beautifully iridescent. And it's also kind of cut, pre-made into a quill for you.
Yesh lets out a really throaty purr.
And she lays it on the table and kind of steps back, looking very pleased with herself.
Yes, this will do nicely. And as I stroke the feather with one of my clawed fingertips, I just ever so gently stroke the plumage of the feather. And how much for this insignificant item? I don't want to belay my try not to show how much I'm very obviously in love.
8 gold.
5 gold. I couldn't imagine parting with it for more than that.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Hold on a second. 11.
5 gold.
Ah, and a deal it is indeed. I will be back, I assure you that. Your shop will become famous from the mouth of Burgesh.
Well, yeah. Yeah, if you're going to buy things like this, do come back. Do.
I take my feather and I make way for the young elven maiden. I'm assuming she's young because she's agelessly beautiful, of course, as all elven women are. I'm assuming, right? So she could be 1,000, she could be 30. Who knows? I'm not gonna judge.
2 of the people that are kind of waiting behind, one of them like just kind of turns around and walks out. Because this shopkeep is now paying no attention to anyone buying mundane items.
Sir, I'm interested in your item. I'm going to be serious with you though. You look like you have thousands of items in the shop, and I've seen thousands of items in my time. I have a little more gold to spend than what you've offered me. Sell me something. And make it interesting.
You want to kill things?
I want to poison things and kill them and put them out of action.
Well, I've always found one of the best ways for killing someone, not that I've ever done it myself, is so they can't see you.
Go on.
You can get right up to their face, and they don't even know that you're there. This potion will turn you invisible. It's a fine thing.
What if, sir, I don't need a potion to become invisible?
Then that's no good for you, is it? What else have we got? What else have we got?
I don't have all day.
Look, I can sell you some lesser poisons, but to be honest, with what you look and with the manner that you keep, these poisons won't add much to what you're doing.
Okay,
I mean,
I'll take what you've offered me for 400. And I want an animal.
what animal? I've got a parrot out back.
Ugh, too loud. I need to be able to keep it on me. I need a mouse or a rat. I'd rather not a rat, but Celebi.
I keep mices. Got a snake as well.
Poisonous or regular?
And it's just regular.
Friendly? Small?
It's quite friendly. Yeah, I mean it's not big. It's about that big.
How much?
So, you were interested in healing potions, weren't you? How many do you want?
Well, I mean, I know about healing potions and I know how much they are. I'd rather see what else you've got first.
Well, I was just kind of thinking, if you spend enough, you can have the snake for free.
Can it feed itself?
No, you kind of need to feed it the mice.
Well, I'm going into the wastelands, so...
You're going into Cyre?
Can it eat berries? Is it?
I don't think the snake eats berries.
Okay, I need an animal that can eat.
Then the
poison
mouse. You
berries.
take the mouse. Take the mouse.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just a copper.
Wait, what colour is it?
I got every colour. What colour mouse? What colour mouse would you like?
Black.
We got some black mice.
Can't be sneaking around with a white mouse.
Gotcha.
I love it.
Here we
Love
go.
it.
Brings out a black mouse, and it's in a jar, not with a lid on, and she kind of like places it down. And goes, a mouse.
I'll take the poison.
Pushes it forward.
Mouse.
Pushes it forward.
And do you have any special arrows?
No, I don't think we do. I'm
Do you have
really
any
sorry.
Exploding arrows or
You know, when are you going tomorrow? Well, when are you going on this expedition? I could source
Tomorrow.
something tomorrow. Okay, well if you come by early, I could get, say, 5 exploding arrow bolts or arrows for you made.
Mhm.
That would come to about 100 gold.
Okay. Cool. If you can do more, do more.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll see.
So
I'll see.
I'll take the poison and the mouse now.
Pushes it forward. Don't worry about the copper.
So,
So that's 500 gold, please.
thank you kindly.
Takes it. Takes the money and actually goes out of the back of the shop after looking up and down, going, does anyone want any of this? Any of this before I put it away? No, okay. And kind of like pulls all of the mechanisms, like racks and kind of like locks underneath the counter, and she goes out back, stores the money somewhere there, and then returns. Is that all that you'd like to do, shopping wise?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything else that you'd like to do with your evening?
I want to show off my very colorful feather that I just bought, and I'm like sitting there and I'm like stroking it, and it seems to be the only thing distracting me from my tome at the moment. Is this new feather, and I'm kind of just like, young elf, young mistress elf, have you seen this feather? Oh, it is a glorious thing, isn't it?
What colours?
Oh, it is beautiful.
Unfortunately,
Just the thing I've been
in my
looking
line
for.
of work, I can't wear colours like that.
Oh, you're in the wrong line of work then.
Oh,
Everything should be about colors. What
Yeah.
more is there to life than the beauty of vibrance?
I agree. When I'm not at work, I tell you, I do not wear black.
That is
You'd
all.
like my mouse?
Oh, indeed. Black as the night, and a tasty
Yeah.
morsel it seems as well. Just a taste, do you mind?
I'd rather keep it as a pet.
Oh, a pet. Oh, I see. Oh, very well then.
I have a farm at home, and I'm just a little bit weary without
well,
creatures.
not a problem. Where I come from, he would have been snatched up in a moment, but I understand if you want to save him for later.
Yeah. But if he's bad or I get bored of him, I'll give him to you. Cycle
I
of
look
life.
forward to the day.
I'm gonna put him behind my hair. Ooh, wriggly.
He seems to take a nestle. Like he seems to like your vibe. And yeah, just kind of gets all safe in there.
I would like to talk to him and just make friends, if that's okay.
You can. You form a bond. Do you want to roll an animal handling check? Just on top.
Yeah. Please help me make friends with my new buddy. 12.
Yeah, you are now fast friends.
I don't have to charm him. Nice.
As I said, kind of likes your vibe. Like whatever energy is kind of like emanating from you, it soothes him. So.
Well, that's his job for me, so it works both ways nicely.
Do you guys return to the Two Tusks Tavern?
Yes. So I'm just checking. I spent 500 gold and I have a potion with 4 poisons on. No, paralyzes.
3. Was it 3? 3 or 4? You're not quite sure.
I said 3 or 4, so I extracted 4 from that.
To be honest, I would say with your tool proficiencies, you would definitely be able to make it 4.
Yeah, I was going to investigate it en route and see if I could recreate it. I thought if I had 1 poison to start with, then I could use my kit.
Maybe someone who wasn't very well used, like as well as you, using these sorts of things, they would have only got 3 uses out of it, but you get 4.
Yeah.
Okay, you return. Do you go back to the tavern together?
Yeah, I think we have bonded over our shopping experience, and now we kind of head back over there. I ask where she's staying, and then if we both find out we're at the same place, then we head over there. Or maybe she doesn't have a place. Where are you staying? Have you established lodgings?
Oh, I was just in the bar where I noticed you earlier.
Ah, yes. Well, would you accompany me back? I think the music might be dying down.
I would love to. Thank you.
Let us head back together then.
When you get back to the tavern, it is in full swing. It has not died down. You come in and you see drunkenly there is that human that came into the bar and is now sitting on the shoulders of a troll, and everyone's drinking. There's about 5 or 6 people around him.
I've managed to get the entire pub to sing along with me to songs from my hometown. I'm standing on sitting on top of the shoulders of this troll, going, "Everybody with me! I was a man who'd walk 500 miles. I would walk 500 more." And I just get the whole pub to sing along. I'm having a merry old time, enjoying the vibe. I have definitely come out of my armor and enjoying drinking. I'm pretty smashed, but I've got a high enough constitution. I think I could probably drink a little bit more into the evening. Probably feel it tomorrow. But yeah, that's where you see me. I haven't noticed you guys come in. I'm too busy having fun.
And so, for the sake of brevity, is there anything else anyone would like to do tonight, or we'll pull this evening to a close?
Yeah, I definitely don't want any part of this revelry, and I head up to my room.
I'm gonna stay in the bar, but I'm just gonna watch and smile.
Yeah, sure.
Is it okay if we maybe take a few minute break? I gotta hit.
Absolutely fine. Let me just pause. Give me 2 seconds. So, the evening progresses. Vagesh, I guess you're kept awake until very late in the night with the sound of the bass from the drums and the music that's seeping through the woodwork, and there's whoa, 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 sometimes jostling the kind of pitcher of water that you have to keep kind of like putting it back in place and then eventually putting it on the floor. and you're like, oh, when is it going to stop? It eventually dies down, and you get enough
just
sleep.
as my eyes begin to be too heavy to study my tome.
Yeah.
Can you make me a little bit bigger so that I can sit further back?
Yes.
Be the same size as everyone else.
There we go.
Thanks.
Well, you are an elf, so...
Oh. There we go. Perfect. So, the morning comes, and it is a hot day. The smells of kind of Gorgonhorn kind of like come to you, even though you're in your rooms. There is also kind of like wafting a very odd... I mean, Ellerid and Vagesh, you're used to this, because you've been here now some days. But Alistair, there's a very odd and spicy, fragrant, kind of like meaty, kind of hoofy smell, kind of like coming through. You all say wake up in the morning. What would you like to do?
Ugh. Breakfast. I need food. Ugh.
Your stomach
Food.
churns, your eyes are a little bit like watery, and then boom, the headache kicks in, and it just it's as though someone kind of like hits you over the head with a wooden plank.
That was good. Good ale last night. Right. I need to sort this out. I try to like ramble my things kind of together, and I'm like bumbling around, like kind of trying to keep one hand on the wall just to make sure I know where it is and I don't fall over as I make my way downstairs for breakfast.
Okay. Vagesh?
Yeah, before I head down, I'm up very early. I'm crack of dawn. I've already been in my tome for a couple hours now. I've been stroking my feather. I've been stroking my feather as I kind of just off to the side as I read my tome, and I'm focused on a particular spell. I'm trying to summon a new familiar with my find familiar spell.
Okay.
If I can do that.
Yeah. You would definitely have stocked up your materials that you would need to summon. So it takes an hour, and you decorate your room in the summoning circle, kind of going over some of the bed sheets and going down up on the dresser. You mark out all of the runes and etchings and place a couple of candles and then light the incense and focus, and then all of the summoning circle, all of it kind of like flashes and like disappears, and there's this kind of like crackle in the air, and as this kind of crackle, there's like little bits of lightning like stream from where the incantations were. They're like coalescing in the middle of it, and a tiny little tear opens that kind of sounds like paper ripping through the actual ether and fabric. And what steps out?
Well, meta for a second. What we had talked about before. We're going to do that later on in the campaign, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what steps out is a lizard, but it's kind of like a chameleon. It's an otherworldly lizard, but it's got a chameleon shape, chameleon kind of body. Legs coming out on either side. As soon as it comes out, it immediately starts to shift and weave in different colors throughout its skin.
Nice. Yeah. It kind of like steps in, looks up. Its eyes kind of go, and then both. One comes up and looks at you.
Well, hello, my little friends. So glad you could join me. Please, make yourself at home. And I reach out my arm towards him.
He kind of like scurries up and kind of nestles in. Yeah.
His color shifts to kind of match, slightly off, but kind of coming close to the purple of my scales. Maybe a little more bright because he's not as his skin isn't as dull, I guess.
Yep. And I guess as you do whatever you're doing for the rest of the time, his eyes just kind of like constantly looking around, kind of like fresh
I'm gonna
eyes.
head down to breakfast, and maybe come up next to Sir Alistair. Really not really noticing him because I'm too focused on my new lizard familiar, but come up next to him on the bar or close to where he's at. And, barkeep, breakfast. I am ravished.
Not so loud, please. Please keep down. That's better. Thank you.
It serves you right for keeping some of us decent sleeping folk awake at such an undecent hour.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I got carried away a bit last night. I didn't mean to upset anybody. My name's Alistair, by the way. Are you staying? Are you lodging here?
I kind of look at him. I'm still standing. I don't, Sir Alistair, you're pretty tall, but my dragonborn self, probably just a few inches taller. And I'm looking, I don't want to say looking down, but I'm kind of looking, I don't want to put my head down. I'm kind of just looking down on my nose. I'm kind of, Well, I suppose a little revelry now and again is good for the humors. My name is Vergesh Isasak. I would say it was well met, but that is yet to be seen.
Well, yeah, I'm not very well presented right now. I'm trying to clean myself up. I'm waiting for breakfast as well. Barkeep, I think we've got 2 customers here.
So as the barkeep comes over, Ellerid.
I would be upstairs meditating. For as long as possible, really. I'm not big on food in these areas, so I would have just popped a good brie this morning. And then I'd be listening, and then just as breakfast seemed like it was over, and it seemed the right time to come down for something useful, I'd come down.
Okay. So you guys have this hoofy stew for breakfast, and it kind of tastes better than it smells. And you get into it. It takes.
Are you I'm assuming he wolfs it down as fast as I do. I mean, in his hungover state, and he seems like quite a hearty fellow. He can probably down a meal in a moment's notice. I think maybe seeing us both dig into our meals together with such fat passion and hunger, maybe we kind of bond over this shared meal a little bit. Where by the time Elrid comes down, maybe we start chatting.
This is really really good. I wasn't expecting such fine food. I mean, amazing. And he just picks up his bowl and just starts pouring it down, slams his bowl down and goes, "Another, give me another. I need more."
Vergesh doesn't even bother with utensils. He just sticks his snout in and he gets more all over Sir Alistair than he does in his own mouth.
Vagesh, I don't mean to sound rude, but you're the first dragonborn I've really kind of seen here. What are you doing here? Why are you in this tavern here?
It's just then, as he's asking me this question, that I wipe my snout, my maw. Well, it's funny that you ask. I'm actually here to meet a patron who has contracted my guild to head into the Badlands.
Wait, you're here to meet a patron of yours?
That's correct. In 1 day's time, in fact.
It would be today.
Today, in fact.
I kind of put my food just to the side for a second, and I'm like, my name is Sir Alistair Belmont. I'm also here waiting for a patron to meet today to go into what I assume was the Badlands. Do you know who you're supposed to be meeting? We might be meeting the same person.
Why don't you tell me, and then I'll tell you.
Well, I mean, that's all I really know. I've been sent here by my guild, been told to be here on this day. I arrived yesterday. Quite a long journey. I had to travel halfway across the continent just to get here. And I don't know anybody here. You're the first person I met that's even mentioned this. So at this point, I actually have no information other than just to be here.
I'm assuming Elrid has come downstairs at this point.
I would say that's probably right. Elrid?
It's nice and quiet.
Yep.
Do I notice her come down during this conversation?
I
mean, if she's coming down, she specified she's coming down quiet.
To be honest, yeah, probably not. She was coming down quiet. She seems like she's incredibly silent and kind of just sneaky. Yeah, just...
I get back in my usual place and talk quietly to the bar staff if they're receptive, and if not, keep to myself.
You do, and it's almost like like mid-conversation, you realise that Elrid is in the room with you now. How? And you look at, because you're kind of almost looking at where she would have come through as well.
So it's just as I'm getting asked this question by Sir Alistair, or he's telling me about his patron, that I just then noticed Elrid.
And Elrid, with your passive perception, walking past, you would have overheard Vergesh and Alistair's conversation just then.
Mistress Elf, please come and join us for this delicious meal. Sir Alistair, may I introduce the Mistress Elf, Elrid?
Pleasure.
Alistair?
Yes. Lovely to meet you.
I've already eaten. But thank you. Did you enjoy your breakfast?
Yes, very much so. I definitely think it's done the job with settling the stomach after the ale from last night. It's made me feel strong for the morning.
It was a good night.
Yes.
It sounded like one at the very least. We were just discussing our shared patronage that seems to have brought us all here for the same reason. Sir Alistair and myself have both been contracted by our respective guilds to meet someone and head into the Badlands.
I had an inkling of this last night when we were talking. So we may be working together?
I could only assume so, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, that's lovely.
Well, what say you that we meet this patron together?
Well, that sounds good to me.
Very well. But before we leave, barkeep, one more bowl, please.
Just as you're finishing, Vergesh, into the bar comes a fairly elderly hobgoblin, but still dressed in its half plate like battleware that you've seen quite a lot of the military come in. It's kind of silver, kind of like top plate. It's huge muscles, big, and he's got like a white salt and pepper goatee and kind of white hair on the top of his head, red skin, kind of green eyes, kind of coming, looking around, not looking brutish, kind of just looking quite confident. And by his side is a very small Kenku-looking raven bird man, kind of about the size of a halfling. in a red robe. What's something different about this Kenku is that it's got horns. And you look around. It kind of cocks its head to the side and looks up and kind of like outstretches a finger and points at you. The hobgoblin next to it looks down, follows the point, nods, and they both move over and walk towards you. Kind of stand by the side of the table. Go. Are you here for the contracts into the wastes of Cyre?
Yes. Yes, yeah, I am, for sure. I assume you are the ones who sent for us?
We are here to collect you. We will go and meet Phoenix soon. We'll be meeting just outside of Gorgonhorn. It's not something that I know Phoenix wants to be seen in amongst so much of a public space. So, when you are finished, gather your things, and we will go when you are ready. I am Kankavag. I will be accompanying you. And this is Pax. He'll be coming too.
Pax is the hobgoblin?
Pax is the small raven. It's actually the hobgoblin that's talking to you in a very kind of like almost noble way. It's kind of like, as I said, not brutish, but kind of like confident.
And then the Kenku, you said, was Pax?
Yes.
Okay.
But seems maybe not actually a Kenku. As I said, it's got horns. But yeah, you're not quite sure. It eyes you kind of like from the side, kind of turning quite bird-like. Like.
So I'm ready now, but I must pop back to the apothecary to get some items for our trip.
Okay.
I look over at Sir Alistair and I say, "A girl in her shopping, am I right?"
Yes. You know of good shops around here?
Yes, Vagesh actually showed me to the shops last night, yeah.
And quite a deal did she find. She handled that shopkeeper like I've never seen.
You get used to them traveling.
Well, if this would be the party that would be going, I will happily join you onto the shops and then on to meeting our friend outside of the city. I'll gather my things and I'll just follow in your footsteps.
What say you, my friend? And I look over at my tiny lizard. He kind of gives a little flick of the tongue on his eye, kind of like, licks his eye. And then kind of gives me a look and, all right, I believe we are just about ready. Let's say we meet back here in 5 moments' time.
Okay. So in 5 minutes, Alistair, you manage to gather your things. And you head your way to Tuscan Musk.
Ellerid wouldn't be saying anything, but would be looking a lot at your lizard.
And it also looks a lot at you, but also sometimes seemingly at something else as well.
It's both.
Okay, you get to Tuscan Musk. You manage to acquire 3 bolts.
Okay.
And they are explosive arrows. They will add. They will have a blast radius of a total of 10 foot, and it will deal an extra 1d6 damage for each one. And for that, you only get charged 50.
Excellent. And I wanted to ask, do you have any truth serum by any chance?
No. Unfortunately, there is no truth serum to be found at Tuscan Musk.
Worth a try. Thank you.
While Alistair is in the shop, I go straight up to the barkeep. Very direct. He doesn't really have much subtlety to him, and just kind of goes, "Keep health potions. How many do you have?"
6 now.
Great. How much a piece?
50 apiece.
Are these good health potions? Are they greater? Are they superior?
Oh, kind of looks at you sideways and goes, "They're health potions, my love."
Okay. I'll take 2. I'll take 2 health potions, and I give him 100 gold.
Mark down 2 health potions into your inventory.
Will do.
And the gold.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that shopping done, what are you guys doing? You ready to head?
Killing things.
Part of our new theme song.
Dunk 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 dunk, killing things. Dunk dunk dunk, killing
Got a
things.
catchphrase already.
Yeah. Definitely not murder hobos.
Murder hobos.
Okay, so you head out of Gorgonhorn and walk a little ways, kind of cresting quite a high-rise embankment that is on the east of the settlement. And as you kind of get to the top of this hill and kind of look over, you can see it. You can see the death fog now.
Oh god.
It's about maybe 9 miles away, but from this vantage point you can see. But the death fog itself rises from the floor quite high into the sky, some like maybe near 1,000 feet. And you're like, oh. And it kind of domes as well. It's not just a wall.
Patriots, have you ever seen such a ghastly sight? Tell me that is not where we're headed.
I believe it may be so. My guild informed me of where we were going, and I've seen scribes, and I've seen images, and I've seen what this looks like through textbooks and what the mages have shown. So yes, I believe this is where we're headed.
It is something truly to behold in person. I am surprised by its intensity.
Are you afraid?
Fighting.
Of course not. Vergesh fears nothing. I am a student of life. And what better way to learn than through fear and danger?
Great. Good to hear.
After a short walk, kind of like going down the hill that was between Gorgonhorn and the death fog, you get to a single stone, about maybe 2 foot, just a stone, and a tree next to it. And Kankaveg and Pax, they stop and look around. Kankaveg kind of looks to the sun, kind of looks to the ground, looks to the sun. Ellerid, with your passive perception, all of you guys are kind of looking around for a second, almost like wondering why you've stopped. Like in the middle of nowhere, just by this tree and this rock. But Ellerid, from behind this very thin tree, a furred foot on hind legs steps one, and a kind of a paw dressed in a robe that's grey and flowing all around it.
As soon as I see the first bit, I'd click my fingers for the guys and point.
And as you do, what emerges from this impossibly small tree, something like quite tall, but also kind of quite diminutive, is this jackal, but on hind legs with hands, with a pair of glasses and a book. And kind of like on hind legs steps once, twice, very lightly pads, kind of turns and looks at you all. And there's a kind of smile that it has. And its eyes are very piercing. There's almost like there's an energy and a power when it kind of locks eyes with you, one by one. And it's almost like a bewitching smile and gaze. And kind of pushes its glasses up. And goes, "Hello. I see you have arrived. Good." He kind of opens the book, turns a couple of pages and goes, "You were sent from the guild, weren't you?"
Yes, I was, for sure. Alistair here for the Two Hammers Guild. At your service, ready to do what is necessary.
With a wave of his hand, a quill appears in the middle of the air, and the book lifts up out of his hand, and he kind of clasps both his hands together, and the quill starts writing in it, and goes, "Alistair, yes. And your guild was... which one?"
The Two Hammers.
Two Hammers, yes. The quill continues to write. And it turns and looks at you, Vargesh, and goes, "And you?"
A fellow patron of the arcane arts. I can appreciate your spellcrafting abilities. Yes, is that the...
It's like a weird jackal laugh, like almost kind of like hyena-ish. Yeah. And its haunches kind of like raised as it's yeah.
I am Vargesh Igosak. I am of the Guild of the Order of the Broken Quill. At your service, and in a grand flourish of my colorful patchwork cape and everything else, I do a kind of a bow, carefully to hold on to my lizard friend.
Oh, yes. Okay. And kind of like turns and looks at you, Elred. It's kind of like it cocks its head a little bit to the side and leans in and goes, "Oh, and such beauty. Such beauty." "Yes. And you? What's your name?"
Elred. I've been sent from the Wayfinders Foundation.
Good. I see there's only 3 people that's come to heed the call this time. Yes, okay, well...
How many were you expecting?
Well...
This time?
Well, I have put out many feelers for guilds all over Corvair. So, yes, no, hopefully.
You've had party people before?
Well, this is a very dangerous mission, you see. And those that I have conscripted to do such things has not met with success so far, but the most recent ones I sent through was a contingent of hobgoblins. They seem to know the land pretty well, but no word from them.
How long ago was that, sir?
A week.
Ah, how many?
7. So I am hoping that because of your varied skills, you will have much more success. Much more success. There's a
Would you
thing.
like to bring these hobgoblins back? Are they precious to you in any way?
With your passive insight, Ellerid, you can notice that the hobgoblin that is stood next to you kind of shifts uncomfortably, and a look of concern goes across his face. Phoenix goes, well, I mean, if you come across them, I don't see why you shouldn't bring them back. Maybe team up. Might be use. Strength in numbers, you see. Strength in numbers. Yes. Well, now that introductions are out of the way, let me introduce myself. I am Phoenix. And he kind of takes a similar bow to what Vergesh gave. And, so, I guess you're wondering why you're here. With this behind us, it's very daunting, isn't it? Very daunting. So, I need you to go in there. I have found a way. One of the hobgoblin raiding teams that managed to get through brought back a goblin tome that was in there. I acquired this tome, and in this tome were the details of a transport circle. The only one that is known to be powered and active in all of Mournlands. So, yes, I have the monopoly on this, you see. This is a monetary investment.
Can I make a history check or a check to see if I'm familiar with these transport paths in my pursuits?
Yeah, go ahead.
What would be the appropriate check you want me to make?
Let's go for an Arcana rather than history.
Okay, 1 second. Arcana check coming up. Oh, that's a fucking nat 1 with a seven total.
Ouch. So, you're aware of transport circles.
God damn it.
It's something that you're kind of progressing to yourself in your own study. You're kind of researching them a lot. They're almost like on the cusp of your understanding. You've already got some pre-notes made and kind of some research kind of documents, and you kind of look, as with all future spells that you acquire, you've got the makings of all of those high-level spells kind of starting to form, so you can practice, and it's working bit by bit to get them into your comprehension. So you have studied them a little bit, but
they're on the peripheries of my knowledge.
They're on the peripheries, so you don't know any details about this transport circle. You don't really know any of the details about what transport circles might be in Cyre, and also kind of the general use of them in kind of a more society. You've got a hint that they're around, but you don't know how prolific they are. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you get with a nat 1.
No, I understand completely, and that was honestly more than I was expecting with a nat 1, so
Well,
thank you, sir.
You've got a +6, so it's a 7,
Yeah.
Right. So with that, he kind of points and goes, oh, it's very daunting, isn't it? So I have this monopoly. A lot of people want to know what happened in Cyre. The whole world is watching you 3 adventurers right now. If you come back successful, I guarantee to make you famous if you would like it. You'll get access to any guild, any school. That will be yours. I will also pay your guild 35,000 gold each if you retrieve the thing that I am seeking. And to be honest, you see, I knew Cyre quite well before all of this. I have an idea of where this thing is, and it will still remain, and I doubt anyone else has gotten to it. But I need something, a stone, that will be inside a floating fortress quite deep within Cyre, not on any map. I can get you to this transport circle that is quite close to the borders, but you are going to have to make your way all the way there on foot, by any other means. Be careful, as the stories that have come out of Cyre.
I have just one question.
Indeed. Please ask, please.
Why have you not gone?
Pardon me. Well, I cannot travel through transport circles. I can cast them, but the magics doesn't work very well with the pattern that I am. And with that, he kind of briefly turns into smoke that kind of like rolls once and then kind of like solidifies back into what he is, and it kind of like rolls down and through him as though he's some kind of like smoke creature that then solidifies back into this jackal looking shape.
Well, that is something you don't see every day.
No, I guess you don't see one of me very often. Not for a very, very long time, that's for sure.
And what are one of you, if you don't mind me asking?
Make a persuasion check.
9.
He goes, I could tell you, but I don't know if it would be relevant to anything that any of you would know. So, let's just say I am Phoenix.
Well, Phoenix, Sir Alistair Belmont will accept your mission on behalf of the Two Hammers, and I am fully prepared to go on to this place, retrieve the stone inside the floating castle, and bring it back here safely. This doesn't seem like much of a difficult mission. I've done these things before, so count me in.
So there is one stop-off on the way. It seems that in this manual that I got that detailed these transport circles, that there is another one kind of along the way. You see, the transport circle was part of a gnomish lightning rail transport agency that had one of them. It was commonplace to have them every so often, sometimes to aid the VIP passengers rather than taking the tram, take the express route, platform to platform. That was what their selling point was. And this second one doesn't seem to be active. Now, if you could get that active, that would be very handy. You see, it's in a much more desirable position for me to enact my monopolizing that I plan, rather than trudge through these dangerous wastes every time with each company on unsuccessful missions.
I mean, neither of these transport circles seem to be in a desirable positions when they're both inside that. And he points to the big black frog.
True. But this second one is in the heart of a fairly large city town that might have some very valuable things that I could acquire at a later date. This one I have picked clean, you see.
Well, are you going? Is this on top of what you're already asking us to do? Is this going to be increased in our pricing?
No, this is the mission. Take it or leave it, really.
Well, as I said, I'm here to serve my guild. I'm not really here to ask many questions. Count me in.
What I would say that would maybe sweeten the deal for your enticement to complete finding and activating the second transport circle, is that I could send aid. There could be some reinforcements, some supplies.
Sounds good.
Like a lifeline, halfway through your journey.
If it's on the way, suppose it'd probably be best if we had another route out as well.
Well, I also say on the way back, you're only going to have to make half the distance. You see, that's what I thought anyway.
Sounds like a good idea. I completely see that. I'm gonna have to rely on my friends here who seem to be more magically inclined than me. I mean, I know a little, but not a lot, to probably help out with that more. I'm mainly here to just retrieve the stone and fight off whatever might come at us.
I see the runes etched into your armor and into the sides of you. You sell yourself short. There are many, many people that don't grasp those things as much as you.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I understand magic, and by far I use it quite frequently. My armor, my shield, and my sword are all of arcane craftsmanship, but teleportation, I think, might be just a little bit above my study.
Okay. And the rest of you? Are you all in agreement?
Vigesh, is this something that you can take most care of? I can help.
I believe I'm most up to attempting.
Okay. Well, this is also what Pax is going to come along for. Almost more importantly than anything, Pax here, well, he knows how to operate some of the old Cyrish controls. Maybe you might need him, but also he is a transport circle aficionado. So, keep Pax alive. Kinkavek, well, he requested to be on this mission, so he's going. Who am I? Who am I to stop that kind of request? So, we're all in accord. We have a convocation of contracts, if it were.
I look to my fellow party members and left and right. Shall we set out then?
No.
I'm happy.
Onward. It'd be good to have some adventure. I'm been looking forward to it ever since I arrived.
Phoenix
One last question.
Phoenix looks.
What defenses do you suggest we take against the fog?
I would advise not returning through it. The fog doesn't permeate the entire of the wastes, although trails and wisps of it do echo through the lands. Just if you see it rolling in, steer clear. But I will send you a distance so that it is not immediately acrid to the skin.
And what other dangers might we face on this journey?
Many? I mean, Cyre. Some scientists there were crafting robots half the size of a mountain. I don't know if any of those are active. Cyre, well, it's home to a lot of roving mutated beasts now. Yes. Oh, and the spirits and the dead, but I'm sure you will know what to do with those. So, here we go. Turns around, the quill flies from the book, and on the ground, quickly, almost impossibly quickly and perfectly draws like a circle that begins on the final bit where it connects to light up as though the ground has a torch underneath it where the lines are made, and the light shines up and goes, hop to, this is only good for 6 seconds. Kenkavek and Pax walk in and walk onto the platform and boom, disappear. Boom! And Kenkavek disappears.
Alistair pulls out, just grabs his shield out into his arm and just walks straight through. Like, we have to protect that little one, and he's already gone in ahead, and just leaves after him.
I'm gonna poke my staff at my walking staff, unassuming walking staff. That's definitely not something else. I want to just kind of poke it in a little bit, kind of tap the port a little bit, and then I step through. You can't have all the fun, Sir Alistair.
So, gone. And then Ellerid?
Oh, I've already gone.
Okay, when did you go?
I said I jumped in.
Like right at the beginning, before Kenkaveg, before Pax? Or?
Basically, when the Kenku went in...
Right, you went in straight
I
behind.
Jumped immediately behind to make sure it was okay.
Then Alistair, then...
We're shoving each other, trying to be first. We didn't even notice she jumps in.
Exactly. Okay. So the bright flashing kind of like this rush of light all of a sudden, and then it's almost like the wind kind of like drops out as you traverse this piece of the astral plane. Space, time, distorted, stretched, but all woven into the same place all at once. And with that, I'm going to need 5 minutes, and then I will show you what you see. Okay. So, the rush of this astral translocation. Ellerid, you were the one out of the three of you that followed first. What you see is you step out of a portal rather than a summoned in circle on the floor. You step out of a portal, and in front of you there's about maybe 1.5 feet of grey stone steps before steps lead down, and on either side of you there's there's a statue of a robed figure, but in the room that's lit up over by the far left by a glowing ember that's filling the room with a very kind of dark red light. Kankavek is at the bottom of the stairs with his shield, which is basically a door, and his kind of like big cleaver, and he's staring into the darkness. And you notice with your passive perception that Pax is behind him, kind of cowering. Vergesh. No, Alistair, you come out next, seeing this dark room, maybe about, say like 50 foot across. You're not quite sure how deep because it's in darkness. Just this kind of light of this kind of glowing ember. But what you notice all around you is that you're in some sort of workshop, there's like scaffolding, and there's tools and boxes to your left and the right, and a kind of like a winch pulley system. Vergesh, you come out of this portal, and the portal's still going behind you. You think that this maybe is kind of like it's just powered. You're not kind of quite sure stepping back through it where the hell you'd go, but it's still there. And in this darkness, you're kind of like squint. Your dark vision kind of like goes, and Kenkovac goes, "Brace yourselves!" And from the darkness goes, and 3 robotic constructs, one much larger in the middle, move and come from the darkness into the light that you can see. One with a spear, one with a shield, one with an axe, or 2 with axes, and on their left, another light flames and lights them all in an orange bathe, as they seem to have some sort of flamethrower attached. And with that, guys, I'd like you to roll initiative.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
Okay, so this is the scene that you see before you. Let me swap it to here. Vergesh, Alistair, you are at the back. That's you, Vergesh. Alistair, you're here. Ellerid, you basically had to move down to the steps to make way for Vergesh and Alistair. And here is Kenkovac. So guys, you rolled for initiative. What did you get? Tell me.
11.
22.
22 for Ellerid, 11 for Vergesh,
15.
15 for Sir Belmont. Okay. Auto roll initiative. Oof. Let's go! Ellerid! With everything that's going on around you, you're the one that gets to react. You've taken the situation. It's yours to do with what you want. How? What are you going to do?
What is the light like? You mentioned it being really dark, but then you said that lights came on.
While, like, these machines seem to have some sort of engine on the back that's giving quite a lot of light behind them, almost kind of like silhouetting. But there is a light coming from here.
Can we see everything? It's basically
Yes.
it.
Yes. Yes, you can. It's just like the lights and the flickering now. Yeah, you can see everything.
Can I get to within 15 feet of one of them?
Your movement speed is 30, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. Yeah.
This one in the middle is quite a lot bigger than these 2 at the side. The 2 on the side are the ones with the axes and the flamethrowers. This one in the middle has got a big old shield and spear, and they're all coming towards you.
It's not huge, is it?
Let me give you maybe a better camera angle of what you can see. So I'd say it stands about 9 foot tall. The others stand about 7.
Okay. So, I know what I can see. And the distances, sorry, roughly?
So you have
Okay,
It's about 30 feet. To the middle one or the one to your right. So
Nice. Alright. So I'm gonna do something that I've always wanted to do forever. And I'm gonna cast. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Give it to me. Oh, I deserve it. Give it to me. Spiritual weapon!
nice. And what does your spiritual weapon look like?
So, my spiritual weapon is basically like a moon, like a kind of moon in the sky, and when it goes off, moonlight shoots down.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like, where would you like it
On the
to
big
appear?
guy.
So you bring it. Here you go. So you cast it, and you've got a bonus action.
Yeah. No, that was my bonus action.
Oh, it's bonus cast and cast. Okay, so you can attack with it next turn, or does it get to go straight away? I can't remember.
It goes straight away.
Roll for an attack.
Oh wow. That would be a 27.
27 hits. Like yeah, so I mean, like what's kind of, is it kind of like casting like moonlight, so like light beams from it? Is that what's kind of like damaging the creature?
Yeah, basically. Like yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's like blocking out bright light and lighting up darkness, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's a very specific bright white pure light. Nothing like candlelight or anything like that.
Pure white. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
like this.
And I'm rolling for damage, but my screen's gone. Oh no. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Can anyone see what my damage was?
It was 8.
Okay, cool. And I would. Do I get to add the +3 because I've got my blade out to run up to it?
I think you do.
So that's 8 + 3.
So
That's 11.
11 damage. This, like, almost instantly, Ellerid assesses the situation and then calls forth this moon, this kind of like shining white ball of light and radiant energy, and it kind of like moves up, beam shines in, hits it square on, and parts of its armor kind of like buckles. And these like machines, they look kind of quite like kind of damaged and like busted up, but this one piece kind of takes a good chunk out of it. 11 damage. Nice. And for your action?
And then for my action, I would like to run up to it, and I'm gonna reach into my back pouch and grab my moon-touched scimitar, which sheds a dim moonlight, and I'm gonna make a slash across its chest.
Okay. Roll for attack. You see Ellerid burst into action, kind of dodging around Kankavek, going underneath the shield that he's standing at the ready for, running straight up to the big machine man, and yeah, roll to attack.
22.
22 hits.
Yeah. So that is 11, and I don't know if it's already added the +3 or not.
It's already added the +3, yeah.
Cool. That's another 11 then.
Doom. Yeah. with that, 22 points of damage, hacking through this big one. So with that, now guys, Kankavek in this situation is kind of yours to potentially control and maneuver. So the way that I was going to do it is because, there's 3 of you. There's this guy here. He is very responsive to your calls. So he's kind of looking to you, as you are kind of the experienced adventurers, how he can support you. So guys, what would you like Kankavek to do?
If it's still my initiative, I'd just say, stay back! And then end my turn.
Okay. Everyone concordant. Maybe what we'll do is, because we'll see how it goes, we'll learn as we go with this guy, with this mechanic.
You don't know what you can do.
You don't know what he can do?
If we can meta for just a hot second.
Sure.
I think that maybe we could, if we're going into this, maybe we've established that we could have somebody potentially be the de facto, controller. Maybe we say like, hey, who has battle experience? We talk amongst the group as we get with this bugbear. It's a bugbear, right?
No, it's a hobgoblin.
Oh, sorry, hobgoblin. He says, I'm yours to command, kind of thing, or whatever in the conversation, and so we say, okay, well, who's got the most battle experience amongst the party, and then maybe we can defer to Sir Alistair, being our resident tactician.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was the little Kenku thing.
No. So yeah, we're talking. Well, the little Kenku guy. I will make him do what he wants. But this hobgoblin captain is very much looking to you guys to see what he should be doing, as you are.
As a battle master, that Kenku is basically our ticket out of here. So I would rather the hobgoblin do everything he can to keep that guy alive while we're fighting. So I want him to play defense and just protect that little thing. So anything that comes at it, obviously he attacks and basically defends our little Kenku friend. Oh no, it's not a Kenku, but Pax. Defends Pax.
You all unified? Is that cool?
Agreed.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Thank you, Sir Alistair, for your wise experience.
So yeah, you kind of shout out, "Stay back!" Alistair's like, "Protect Pax!" Kankavek goes into a defensive, moves there and takes a defense action. Actually no, he moves there and he's going to hold his attack action. If anything comes in range, he's going to attack it. Okay. Sir Alistair Belmont, bursting through the portal. This is the scene that you see. You arrive just a little bit late, but you all saw them power up together with these kind of like almost jet engines on their back, kind of powering up, and the two on either side, their flamethrowers kind of go, and then moving towards you in a menacing fashion. Ellerid has run off, getting thick into the melee, casting some sort of moonbeam kind of like satellite that is kind of attacking for her as well. What are you doing?
Quick question. To get to the bottom of the steps in front of me, is that 10 foot?
I will say it is 10 foot, but to be honest, you can just drop that without taking damage.
I'm happy to go down the steps. I want to move to the one that's behind the little wall on the side. Basically, I'm going to go around Kenku and Pax, go around them to the other one, not the one that Ellerid is attacking.
You want to go to this one?
Yeah, but I want to stay about 10 feet away from him. I just basically march straight towards him, like, without any questions.
Okay. So, with your movement, you can get say to here.
Am I within a 10-foot range?
Yes.
Amazing. Perfect. Yeah. So Alistair kind of quickly draws his sword and shield as he's marching towards him, pulls out his shield is quite big. It basically covers him from about bottom of his chin down to his ankle. It's like a full body length shield that's obviously built for defense purposes. And as he gets to that position, drives his shield into the ground in front of him, and casts Earth Tremor as a spell, first level spell, at the guy in front.
Okay. So with Earth Tremor, is it a dexterity save?
Yeah, Dex 13 save.
Let's have a little look. Unlucky. I got a 14. It does get a -2 as well. But that's the final. I rolled a 16. So what you notice as well, now that you've kind of come close to it, this one that you're now facing off seems so damaged that part of its core is kind of exposed, and there's a lot of wires that seem very important in its chest. Okay?
Cool. Yeah, so Alistair basically, even though the spell has no effect, is kind of like driving his shield down in a very kind of like aggressive way, kind of being like standing his ground, kind of giving this guy looks, trying to work him out, by kind of being very much trying to put himself between these guys and the packs behind him. So he's putting himself in a defensive position.
Yeah, cool. Cool. Okay, is there anything else that you'd like to do?
No, I'm just basically waiting for the fight to come to me.
Okay, so with that, Vagesh, what would you like to do?
As a bonus action, I would like to cast Manifest Mind and summon a spectral image or spectral manifestation of my spellbook.
Yep.
And it will take the shape of a very respected and wise sorcerer and diviner from my lands, Neil deGrasse Tyson. And it's a tiny Neil deGrasse Tyson head. Because it said I can have a philosopher, so I hope that's okay. Or not, I think it was a philosopher.
I love it. I love it so much.
Scholar. Okay. So a tiny Neil deGrasse Tyson head. Maybe a bust. I don't want to say just a head. Maybe he's like the neck from like the lower neck up, so it's not just weird. Maybe a head, maybe a neck and a head would be weird. Okay, anyways, not the point. So that would be my bonus action, and then for my main action, I would like to cast. Let me get out of that. I would like to cast Hold Monster. Let me find it. I would like to cast Hold Monster as a charge from the Power Staff.
Make a... Let's just have a little look. I just need to double check. Because I might ask you to make an Arcana check.
Well, I should
Gotcha.
specify it'll
Yep.
be the last.
I didn't. I wasn't sure if it was if Hold Monster didn't have any effect on undead or constructs, but it's just undead. So yeah, you good?
I would like to cast it on the unoccupied construct on the far corner there.
Yes. Okay, so it's a Wisdom save, I believe.
Yes.
What's the DC?
It'll be a 14.
I rolled a 16. It has a -3. So
Yes.
there we go. So 13. It is a success.
It is paralyzed
Hold monster. Boom.
for up to a minute while I maintain concentration.
Nicely done. It is there, paralyzed in the corner. As it tries to maneuver, it seems like all of the cogs and gears in it just kind of go clink and seize, and it's trying to move, but it's just not moving.
Sorry, man, I should have been a little more thematic. While I'm doing this, I'm looking in my tome, and I'm holding out my hands, kind of, and twisting it and clenching it into a fist. And then I'm holding it while I look at my tome, and I look back at my fist, and you can see I'm straining. My hand is shaking as I hold it.
Real cool. Okay. So after that, the one in front of you, Alarid, it seems the spear seems to spin, and okay. I mean, it is ferocious. So it is going to make one spear attack, and let's see. It's got 3 attacks. First one. Oof. So as it comes in, its spear attack, you deftly dodge out of the way. It seems like it's just kind of getting its bearing. After missing that, it goes in to hit you with its shield. And with a 26, definitely hits.
Oh, yeah.
Take 10 damage, and 10 bludgeoning damage, and I'd like you to make a strength saving throw for me, please.
Okay. This is the first time I've taken damage, so let me see how that works. 10 damage, that was easy. Okay, and what?
Saving throw for me, please.
Strength.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And I believe.
Your saving throws, I think, are in the top left-hand corner.
No, I wasn't looking at that. I was. Just a 6.
That is a fail. So with that shield bash, you are knocked to the floor prone.
Okay.
And with that, it goes in for another spear attack, this time at advantage. And with a 26, hits again.
Oh.
Take 13 damage.
Okay.
And that is its go over. Next up are the 2 to the side. The first one stuck in place. The one in front of you, Alistair, moves up to attack, raises its axe.
Bring it on. You big hunk of whatever machinery you are.
22? I'm sorry, I'm rolling really well.
Yeah, that just about hits. Yeah.
Okay, so with that, take 7 piercing damage. Well, sorry, slashing damage.
Yep.
And then it turns and I would like you to make as this flamethrower comes out, catching both you and Kankovek, but because of your positionings, doesn't get packs. Because you cleverly you made Kankovek stay back. If he'd have gone forward, or if you'd have kind of tried to play more back, then yeah. So I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
I will. Oh no, that was terrible. 7.
Okay.
That was bad. Could have done better than that.
Well, it seems like maybe the gasoline in the tank hasn't started erupting properly yet. I rolled snake eyes, so take 2 damage, as does Kankavek.
That's good. That is good.
And that is its go over. So, back to the top of the round. Ellie, what are you doing?
Oh, I like it. My name's shortened already. Okay, so I am going to hit it with spiritual weapon,
Nice.
which counts as a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And I got a 17.
Oh, you just hit it. You need a 17.
I got a 20. Oh no, that's spell attack rolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is spell attack.
It is a spell attack, yeah.
I got 20.
Nice. Okay.
Nice. Okay. And then I would like to I think oh no, we've got a wizard in the room. I shouldn't be selfish and cast Sanctuary on myself. That wouldn't be very nice of me at all. I was like, will I protect myself? No, maybe this isn't the time. Okay, in that case, what have I got that does the most damage close up? Oh, I'm within touch distance.
That you are.
Inflict wounds, 2nd level.
Okay.
Okay. I'm scared of the dice. Oh no, a 16!
Oh, I'm afraid that just
No!
misses.
It hurts.
So that was your action and your bonus action. You're currently on the floor, prone. Would you like to stand up?
I would very much like to stand up, but I can't get away, can I? Without attack of opportunity.
That's very true, yeah. You would have to take the disengage action if you wanted to do so with no repercussions. Okay. Is that the end of your go?
It is.
So we are back to Kankavek. What would you like Kankavek to do, everybody?
Stay in the way of all those nasty spells.
I mean, he can move up and attack.
Can he? I'm on less than half health. If that, I'm looking pretty bad right now.
If he's going to go help someone, he should be going to help.
If anyone can come and
Ellie.
flank or draw attention or anything.
Okay. So, to be fair, it's true. Seeing you go down, taking a couple of good hits, Kankavek seeing that Sir Alistair has got this guy kind of like locked up, he is going to go and move. Your spiritual weapon doesn't actually take space, I don't think. And okay, so who wants to roll for the Hobgoblin captain? And I'll tell you
Sir
what
Alistair?
you get.
Yeah, I don't mind rolling. I assume we're just gonna go straight for a weapon attack. What weapons?
He makes 2 greatsword attacks, and you get +4 to each hit. So roll 2d20s and add 4s to them.
Alright, let's go. 1 second.
And also he is going to use. Yeah, well, let's see if you hit with one of them.
First was I rolled a 6, so +4 is a 10, so that doesn't hit.
10 is a miss, I'm afraid.
And then in his second roll, he rolled a 14 +4 is 18.
That hits. And with that, so I'll roll the damage.
Okay.
Because it's easier, because it's just here
Yeah.
and all baked in.
Yeah.
With that, he will use martial advantage. Once per turn, the hobgoblin can deal an extra 3d6 damage to a creature it hits with a weapon attack if that creature is within 5 feet of an ally of the hobgoblin that isn't incapacitated.
Yeah.
So having this hobgoblin next to you fighting means that he does a fuck ton of damage. In fact, no, I'll let someone roll for it. Roll 5d6. He does 5d6 damage plus 2 here.
I think we should let Jenni roll.
I think that might be a really good idea, yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, roll 5d6,
He's protecting me.
and then we're going to add 2, yeah.
5d6. Wow.
It's big, isn't
Never
it?
rolled that many dice. Oh wow, there's some 3 5s and a 4.
Nice.
22.
So, with the plus 2, you do 24 damage.
Wow.
It's-
Yeah, screw you.
I will.
Construct.
So it's starting to take wear and tear. Yeah, it's starting to take wear and tear.
I love that. I love
You
that.
put a dent in it. You put a dent in it.
Okay, guys. So that is Kankavek done. Sir Alistair Belmont, you're up next. Vagesh, you're on deck. So Vagesh, you're coming up next. Alistair, you're first.
After taking like a big, absorbing most of that like fire blast that came out of its oil tank, I kind of still having my shield in my hand, I pull out my, like almost like, for anyone who's looking, it's got like a hilt of a sword, but nothing, no blade coming from it. He kind of looks this creature in the eyes or face, wherever it would be, and says the words, "May the light destroy the darkness." And this blade kind of appears out from this hilt of like pure sunlight.
Oh, cool! We've got a moon and sun blade.
You do.
Ryq, you sneaky fucker. That's awesome.
So yeah, he basically uses his bonus action to draw his sunblade out as his finesse weapon, and just goes to town on this guy in front with an attack.
Sun and moon.
Okay, so what I would say is these things have Engine of Pain. So once per turn, a creature that attacks these constructs can target the exposed core. You don't have to. You have disadvantage on the attack roll, but on a hit, it deals an extra 2d10 damage.
Wow.
Okay.
Pretty big.
Go on.
No, that's it.
For this first attack, I don't think Alistair's going to know that, so he's just going to swipe at him because he hasn't had enough time to think about it. So he's probably just going to make 2 attacks at him, just regular. Now he gets extra attacks, so it's 2 attacks per 1 attack action, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. First one is a 19 to hit.
Oh, 19 hits. Yeah.
Do you want me to roll both attacks?
Yeah. Just.
And I also rolled another 10, so another 19, 2 19s to hit.
Okay. Both of them hit.
First one does 15 points of radiant damage.
Nice.
And the second one does another 15 points of radiant damage, so 30 points of radiant damage.
Amazing.
As I kind of just bash him twice with his sword.
Boom, boom, chopping these bits off. This kind of like mechanical automaton. Like its bits are still there. It's still kind of like together, but oh my god, it looks like it's hanging. It's hanging together just barely. Okay.
Alistair kind of still stands his ground, kind of just like really like trying to get him to engage in him as much as possible and fight him.
Okay. Just want to check something. Okay. So that's your go done? Okay, Vagesh. What do you want to do?
Okay. While maintaining concentration on my hold monster, I would like to use my manifest mind to reach out. I would like. Oh God, I'm having a mind fart right now. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I would like Mr. Tyson to float over to. I want to call her Ellie now. Elrid, to float over to Elrid, and I would like to cast Thunder Step while kind of looking down at her and hoping that, and I'll yell out to her, grab hold of the head, and hopefully she'll listen as I cast Thunder Step.
Okay.
Not in a weird way. Hold on a second. Let me go to Thunder Step here. What happened? I think it froze up. Okay, so teleport. I'm going to teleport. If you're accompanying me, I'm going to just teleport you back to the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Away from the fight. And creatures within 10 feet of the space must make a Constitution saving throw or take 3d10 thunder damage on a failed save or half as much on a success.
Yes. That is a good move. Good luck.
That's on the destination, right?
That's on the space that we're teleporting from.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can. Yeah, okay, we'll say you get the head, like, because it's floating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Make an Arcana check for me, please.
Oh no.
13.
13's good enough. You manage to maneuver the head in a position that doesn't hit Kankavek, and is going to damage this machine. Okay?
Thank you,
cool.
Sir.
So, you teleport her to, I guess the place would be here? Is that right? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah. Yes.
30 feet away would be lovely.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you want to describe the spell?
Yeah, so as the head floats over, I call out to her, grab on to Mr. Tyson, and he kind of reaches down and she grabs hold of the spectral head, just kind of touches his beautiful face, and as soon as she makes contact with it, immediately it's like a water drop sound, like whoop, and just vanishes in a blip, and then from that blip, kind of a visible shockwave comes out, boom, and just blasts out for 10 feet around it, and she immediately, as soon as the shockwave hits, she immediately reappears at the bottom of the stairs, at the same time that the thunderous sound is going off.
I would react by looking at you, not surprised in any way, because I totally thought you were capable of stuff like that. So just with gratitude and thank you.
And there's this kind of like ionizing smell as well, with this kind of like little crackles of electricity, all kind of like around where you're sat, and this kind of sense of lightning fused in with this magic.
That's so cool.
Okay, so it's a Constitution check, you said, for the gladiator.
I'm sorry, say again?
Was it a Constitution save for the gladiator to take damage?
Yes. Sorry, it is a thunderstep. It is a con save. Yeah, DC 14.
Let's have a little look. 8 plus 3, 11. It fails. Your spell kicks off. The shockwave punches it in some of its vital organs. Gears and nuts and bolts spraying off against the wall with these like sparks all kind of as this force. Was that 11 damage?
Yes.
Nice. Good solid hit as well. Okay. It's now starting to look like it's showing some signs of mechanical damage. I would call it bloodied if it had any organs in it. Okay.
I should note just before I give up my little slot here, I gotta take a piss, and then I honestly have to go in probably, I'd say half an hour.
Well, we are actually going to have to finish up in 2 minutes, so
Okay.
we are calling it in 2.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hold it.
If we could just kind of finish this round,
Let's do this thing. Let's do
then
it.
we will kind of save this and we will start it up again next week. Okay. So, Vergesh, you're done. The gladiator turns on Kankavek. Let's just do this. Shield bash. It misses. Kankavek seems to have some pretty serious armor, what with his shield and his kind of like plate all over him. Second attack, shield bash, 16, misses. Third attack, shield bash. This one hits with a 25. He takes 9 points of damage. And his DC strength saving throw. Oh, he just misses it and he's gone to the floor. But doesn't have any other attacks to worry from. So, okay with that. The machine in front of you, Sir Alistair, activates. Goes for its drill attack.
Ooh, that doesn't sound nice.
9.
Miss.
Okay. And it's going to make a second one, as it knows that there's only one person there and the flamer isn't really an option. Fortunately, that is a natural 20.
Yeah, okay.
Critical damage.
Yeah, but he's only gonna roll a 1, so it's okay.
Take 12 points of damage.
It's not too bad. I'm still fine.
Stand your ground, warrior. This fight is not over yet.
I've had worse. This guy doesn't know how to hit.
Okay, and with that, guys, we're going to end our session with you in the thick of battle, not kind of like knowing exactly what's happening with these machines. Yeah, sure, do.
I want to shout, okay, that was more than I was expecting. I'm staying back.
Careful you don't lose your breakfast. The trip can be a little disorienting.
Thank you.
Guys, we're going to pick up this exciting combat. I love it. I love it so much. Like, the mechanics of these creatures kind of like combined with what you've got. This is fun. Alright. So, I guess I would say see you all. Let me just kind of stop the share so that we can all have our faces on screen just for the last little bit. Yeah. Guys, it's been fun.
That's awesome.
Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, for
How
sure.
about next week? Same time, same place?
Oh, so good question. Let me just end the recording and we'll get to that. Guys, love this.